Hey, Jonathan here, Bixby brand ambassador and FeelFree Pro staff member. I just wanted to give everyone a little look at my 2021 FeelFree Moken 12.5 V2 kayak for this year. This will be my tournament kayak, and of course the kayak I take out just, having fun, fishing, paddling around, doing whatever. But I just wanted to go over everything that I have on this kayak. I have my rods off right now, but let's go ahead and hop into this. I'll go bow to stern, and we'll go through everything and see how it's all laid out. All right, let's start off with the bow of the kayak, and really to start off with this handle here. It's one of the biggest things I like about all the FeelFree kayaks. It's got the built-in, the molded-in handle there. Of course, there's nothing too special about that, but it does make tying down and moving the kayak around a lot easier. So moving on back, here's just my net. The Line Cutters floating net does extremely well. Let's see, let me move this out the way so I can open the hatch. Right now I don't have anything in here. If I open that up, and I just left that piece of foam in there. I mean, it's just part of shipping. You can take it out, but I just threw it back in there. Keep things from sliding around, but as you can see, there's plenty of space in there. But we'll just go ahead and close that up. Now, moving back to let's say the cockpit area. This is where I have the majority of the electronics, and of course you can see the Bixby motor. On the FeelFree pod, I used the Bixby Diy Pod Mount, and then of course I have the Bixby attached. So this is going to function through the opening in the kayak where the pod goes. This is actually one of my favorite things on this kayak. I've put the Bixby unit on the back. I've used it in the rudder position, and I've also used it with the pole steer. Now for lakes, I have found that the pod mount is the best, at least for me. In the river, I do switch it out and use the rudder, but I also have a Yak Gadget plate that fits back there within the tracks. I actually got it from my FeelFree lure. But it works in the Moken 12.5 without any issues, and I can show that later on. But I use the pole steer with that. But coming back up here, you can see I have a combination of Bixby, Yak Gadget, Yak Attack, all kinds of different brands as far as accessories. But this is the Yak Gadget cell phone holder. And I actually don't have anything in that pod right now other than, some hooks and maybe a few baits. But one thing with the Bixby unit, the sound from the motor does travel up through this. So I have some waterproof, well, not waterproof, but I have some sponges actually. They're car sponges in this bottom here to kind of damper some of that noise that comes up. But looking on this side of the kayak, you can see I have a Garmin Echo Map, and I'm just using ram mounts. And if you look right there, I'm just using the FeelFree, it's the Yak Attack FeelFree adapters, and I just use screws with some lock washers with that, I think it's a 1.5 inch ball, but that works perfectly. And of course with this Garmin, it has the bail mount where I can just take the actual head unit off, which I like. So if I'm, traveling, I don't have to keep it on or, undo the ball or anything like that. And then of course you can look back here, the transducer arm, which is a ram arm. It's connected to the transducer, and when I'm not using it, I can just put it right there. I'll probably put a piece of foam or something right there to hold that. And that's another thing I like about this unit, is I can, turn the transducer on and off whenever I'm not, when it's out of the water. So that's a nice feature as well. And let me turn around this way. This is where you can actually see what's going to be powering the Bixby motor and my electronics. So this is the PP-333 battery that comes with the Bixby unit whenever you buy it. And you know, the kill switch goes there, and I've got that on the back of the seat. But you can see here you've got 3 ports on the PP-166 battery, and then of course you've got a charging port. So that's tucked under there nicely. And then of course the NRS Chinook life jacket, you know, that's extremely comfortable, and it's worked for me over the past few years. Now, moving to the back of the seat, I have the yak gear bag back here, and of course it's got 2 pockets. You know, I've got my Bixby buff, some tools, and then inside of this waterproof pocket here, I've got, you know, phone charging cables, the kill switch, and, you know, a few other cables that I'm gonna need, one for my GoPro. And I'm not using this inside hatch for anything. You know, there's nothing in there, but if I need to later on, you know, I can easily mount the Bixby USB, you know, charging adapter that goes in here, or, you know, just whatever. But you can see it's some nice cup holders back here, and they actually work, so that's always a bonus. Now, moving back, you can see I've got the Yak Attack Black Pack. I've had that, gosh, for many years. I actually took the top off of it because once I moved these rod holders around, it no longer wanted to open up right. So I'm probably going to add the Yak Gadget cover to this. So right now I'm just using some Yak Attack parts just to hold my catch board in place, and it just sits there. You know, it's not going to go anywhere. And let's see, let's just keep going back. And I still have some room back here for some storage. Of course, I've got the beaver tail rudder there. That displaces a lot of water, helps turn extremely easy. By far, it's a ton better than the Smart Track rudder that I used to have on my lure. And of course, the Mega Rod holder from Yak Attack. Right now, that's just kind of sitting back there. And this is actually a newest addition. Let's see, these Yak Gadget, I can't even remember what they're called, but basically you can add the Roto Grips from Yak Attack to this to, you know, hold your paddle on the side of the kayak. And you can see that it doesn't get in the way at all, and it just holds it back there. And that's not going anywhere. And of course, when you want to use it, you just pull it out. Pulls out easily, goes back in. Then of course I've got a RAM mount for my Bixby controller, and that actually works really well. You know, of course it's waterproof to begin with, but being on that mount there, it gets it, you know, closer to you, and you can easily, you know, punch the buttons without having to have it on your wrist or, you know, have it mounted any other place. And then of course there's the Yak Attack cup holder. So that is it. Don't have rods in it right now, but most of the time I'm going to just carry 5, of course, within the black pack, and then, you know, I have the 2 rod holders on each side. And then, you know, I've got the GoPro. That's pretty much it.